This is the Livestream studio. We're kicking things off here with Zoe Feldman, the Incubation Director for Chobani. Before we get into all the amazing things that are happening with Zoe, I want to thank our Livestream sponsor. That's NutriFresh HPP in partnership with TrueFresh HPP. How'd I do?
You did really well, Ray.
That was pretty good, I thought, yeah?
I'm really impressed.
Thank you so much for joining us, Zoe.
Thank you for having me.
So, I've known you for a little bit of time, and I'm so happy that you're with us here at the NOSH event, because the last time I saw you, you were at BevNET Live as one of the judges for the competition's New Beverage Showdown, an amazing competition that year.
Amazing.
And now you're in the food business, though, and it's sort of the beverage business, too, with Chobani. You came on board in October?
Yeah, 6 weeks ago.
So, you were an investor prior to being in your current role. How was that? How did that transition happen, going from investor to head of an incubator?
It's not inherently that different of a job. I'm going to move my mic down because this is awkward. It's not inherently that different of a job in the sense that you're still doing the same things you do as an investor, right? I've been in the food industry for 12 years. I worked for PepsiCo, which is food and beverage. I just got a much better sense and knowledge of specific expertise in the beverage industry, but obviously always been interested in food from a policy and nutrition and sociological and business perspective. So for me, investing and incubation for emerging brands are essentially opposite sides of the same coin. But the amazing thing about Chobani is it's privately held.
Yep.
Hamdi is amazing. He's a founder's founder. He's an incredible human being.
Hamdi Ulukaya,
the founder and CEO of Chobani. I have tremendous personal respect and reverence for this individual. And when the position opened up, obviously I knew the former incubator director, Jackie Miller. What up, Jackie? And she and I had a long conversation about, as I was thinking about transitioning out of venture, would this be the right fit for me? And truth be told, just the opportunity to work in a team again. Venture is very lonely. People don't know that. It's very lonely, people. You spend a lot of your time by yourself. You travel around, and I've done that for close to 10 years. And wow. I'm sort of at the point in my life where I wanted something a little more stable. I wanted something close to home. I wanted something that really took the knowledge that I've gained in operations and finance and strategy and CPG over the past 12 years of my career and be able to really take a strongly, respectable vision and mission of democratizing better food for more people and be able to use my skill set to help move that forward. So in that respect, it's actually a perfect role for me. And 2019 is going to be exciting for the incubator, and I'm looking forward to continuing to build on what Jackie has done and bring a little more of the operations, finance, VC perspective to the incubator.
Now, you alluded to the mission of Chobani, the Chobani Incubator, high-profile incubator, pretty well known throughout the industry, but for listeners and viewers at home who aren't necessarily familiar with what you guys do, what is the overarching mission of the Chobani Incubator? So the
overarching mission is essentially, I think it was the first incubator really in the industry, and what they've done is pretty incredible. It's robust programming. It's born out of Hamdi's vision to bring better food to more people. So it's democratizing food, which for me personally has been, something I've been working towards my whole career. So it's obviously very drawn to that. And the incubator essentially, it's no strings attached. So it's equity-free grants. In addition to what is essentially, I wouldn't call it an MBA, I'd call it almost a master's in the food industry specifically. It's multidisciplinary and multifunctional internal and external experts from within Chobani and externally as well, and really creating robust programming for 3 to 4 months for 6 kind of high potential food and beverage businesses for CPG. However, we did just launch a food tech residency, which I can talk a little bit about, although less relevant for the participants and probably some people watching at home. But some commonalities include what Chobani refers to as DNNA, which is, I had to write this down, delicious, nutritious, natural, and accessible. So affordability, I like that too. Affordability, accessibility, again, this whole notion of how to democratize food. So the companies are innovative, maybe an ingredient play, or an emerging trend, or simply just a better for you version of something that already exists, so it's similar to Chobani and the core yogurt business. And again, for me, just as a former investor and working in the food industry, it's very, very similar to the businesses I've invested in personally and professionally, businesses I've worked with. So for me, it's just more of the same good stuff, good people doing good things and trying to move emerging entrepreneurial businesses forward. But those are sort of the commonalities or the ties that bind of the companies that we're looking for. And we actually just wrapped up our 4th class. And so applications are opening next week, ChobaniIncubator.com.
For class 5, that is.
For class 5,
Okay.
for spring 2019. But again, DNNA, affordability, accessibility, founders, entrepreneurs that may not have access to resources they need because of geography or other, sort of issues around diversity and inclusion that we're really going to work hard towards in 2019. Very, very critically important to me, important for Chobani, important for the incubator. So I'm very excited.
Now, you mentioned the class is class 4. What are some of the brands in that class, and why do they have such great potential to be the next great product in their category?
So totally candidly, I parachuted into this job 6 weeks ago, so I was not involved in the choosing of this cohort, although they're all wonderful. I had the opportunity to only meet them all once for the final week of programming 3 weeks ago in New York. And the companies vary. They have Ithaca cold crafted hummus. We have Supernatural, which is alternative, free from for the baking industry, so sprinkles and other products for baking using natural coloring, which is very on trend. Partake Foods, incredible founder, great business for free from all 8 major allergens for kids, obviously very important right now, especially which has happened with the FDA. Very critical time for that. We have Matcha Bar and Haven's Kitchen, which are both products that come from businesses that have brick and mortar retail components, which for me in my former roles is very interesting because I have some experience there. And T-Squares out of Chicago, also very interesting business in the emerging kind of snack and energy category. So they all were awesome people, amazing founders, great products, great stories, and real high growth potential. And so for 2019, sort of lower the cap in terms of total revenue. So we're really saying $50,000 minimum revenue and up to $3 million in revenue is sort of the financial qualifications that we're looking for, and of course hitting all of those other parts of what we're looking for are very important. But fall 2018 was great. I only got to hang out with them for 5 days, so unfortunately, I wish it had been more time, but I'm looking forward to seeing, how they do, and they all had a great experience, and they're just really incredible individuals working together to move the food system forward.
Yeah. Now we have about 45 seconds left. You mentioned some of the financial requirements for some of these brands.
Yeah.
How are you evaluating the folks that are applying to the incubator otherwise, outside of finance?
So it's interesting. I mean, again, we're retooling the application a little bit now that I've come on board. But for 2019, we're really looking for more diverse businesses, more inclusive, whether that's geography or other aspects of diversity and inclusion. But really, we're looking for, again, DNNA, $50,000 to $3 million in revenue run rate, your team and your talent, your growth potential and market fit. Had to just look at my notes to make sure I was doing that right. But really, the most important and critical point is, do you share in Hamdi and Chobani's mission to keep moving the food industry forward?
Now, the most important thing for viewers at home who are not part of the incubator, how do you apply?
ChobaniIncubator.com.
That was easy enough. All right.
Yeah.
Zoe, this has been fantastic.
Great,
Thank you so much for joining us on the
Thanks for having
Livestream studio. Hope to see you again really soon.
See you soon, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.